Alright, that looks
This
good.
mystery meat spaghetti.
That does look good.
Garlic, butter, then this.
Wait a minute, I just started recording and all of a sudden I hear the computer say something about spanking your meat.
Yes.
Anyway, I've been recording some gameplay videos. If I hadn't recorded any gameplay footage today, I wouldn't have any gameplay footage tomorrow, which at the time this video would be released, it would have been yesterday as you're seeing this, which is always fun when it comes to when I say something is going to be coming out. I actually have to give specific dates. But that food was good though. Dinner was good. Thank you. But yeah, one thing a lot of people don't realize, and it's something that I say to people, and they still don't believe me, is that people drive like shit. It isn't always the person that's crossing the street, because 99% of the time, I'm doing everything right. I'm crossing at an intersection. If there's a light, I wait for the green light and the cross symbol. If it's an intersection that doesn't have a light, I wait for no traffic.
Yeah, like this one here.
Yeah. What, right out front?
If I look that way and I look that way, and for as far as the eyes can see, I don't see a car or they're at a red light up here in France.
Yeah.
No big deal. I mean.
And then, of course, you get the occasional thing where, like the news stories that you keep pointing out, what was that, 2 or 3 times in the past few days where you heard a story of some guy driving a vehicle through a crowd of people?
You know what I'm saying? Before that happened a lot. I mean, it happened in Europe, it's happening. I don't know, did it happen in the US? I know we were just talking about guns and, like, you know,
yeah.
I think you're right, but it's okay. I mean, if someone is hell bent on hurting other people, they're gonna find whatever they can.
There's always gonna be a way. If somebody's hell bent on trying to hurt somebody, they'll find a way to.
Guns don't pull triggers by themselves.
No.
And these accidental discharges, it's also bullshit. You could drop a loaded gun with the hammer pulled back, ready to go, with a bullet and chamber. Unless that trigger is pulled, it does not go.
Granted, yes, I'm sure that if you have like a handgun with a trigger and a hammer on it, like that, where you actually have to pull the hammer back.
Yeah.
If you pull the hammer back and drop it, I'm sure there's a chance, a small chance, something will knock the trigger and it'll discharge.
But, I mean, someone's got to get in that trigger guard.
Yes.
I mean what's 1 in a million chance?
Yeah, it's like I just said though. There's a small chance.
Or for
I don't know how big that chance is. I know it's small though.
If somebody fouled off the trigger guard, right? So the trigger's just sitting on naked, right?
Yeah.
The other one is if the gun's on safety, it doesn't fire.
Yeah. Regardless of whether you're able to pull the hammer back or not.
Yeah. A lot of them don't even have hammers. I mean, most of the automatics.
Right. Most of them don't have hammers. I get that.
And revolvers, there's 2 types.
Yeah.
There's single action and double action.
Yeah.
Now they look.
And the double actions are the ones where you actually have to physically pull the hammer back?
Both have hammers.
Oh, both do have the hammers?
But you can fire both ways. In single action, you pull once, and then as you put the hammer back, the cylinder rotates and it's ready to go again.
Oh, yeah.
Double action is, sounds kind of ready. You pull the hammer back, boom. Or you can squeeze the trigger and it actually will rotate the cylinder the next one and fire.
Yeah.
It also cocks the hammer at the same time.
Yeah.
Rotates the next round and towards the barrel, and it's slower. Right?
Yeah. But I'm assuming based off of what I've heard, I'm assuming you at least know a little bit about guns and gun safety.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Seeing as you've grown up hunting.
My mom, I actually look at my back of license, it says firearm certificate.
Yeah.
Gun safety and, like, you know, even when I was little though, said, like, I know in my first year I shot when I was 12.
Yeah.
You know, we used to go shoot all the time at cabin and Lincoln, but I lost my BB gun for the summer.
Yeah.
Because I was just shooting and hit birds and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I obviously like a lot of military stuff, so you know a lot about it. And of course the safety stuff. Yeah, I mean, like I said, as important rules are, if someone hands you, always check if the gun's unloaded. If someone says it's unloaded, I'm still gonna check it.
Yeah.
You know, just keep it
Yeah, if somebody says it's unloaded, one thing, regardless whether it's loaded or not, I don't point a gun at another person.
No.
Unless I'm planning to shoot that person,
Yeah.
which
You're breaking in my house, you're not trying to break in my wife.
pretty much
Yeah.
the only time, if I had a gun, the only time I would consider shooting a person is self-defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like not pointing at people, also just keeping your muzzle, you know, pointing down and away. And,
Yeah.
always have your shit on safety. Don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Then you just pop the safety off, little fingy in there. And,
Yeah. Basic stuff.
I mean, I can't even put a number on how many shots I have shot in my life. Thousands. Some are just blinking at the cabin, some hunting. I mean, shit. A fucking day out sometimes, duck hunting.
Yeah.
Especially out in Idaho, the limit's 8. I don't get that time. You know, a box of shotgun shells is 25.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be uncommon, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I used to work at Walmart back when they actually sold ammo.
They don't even do it anymore?
I don't know if they do anymore because,
Yeah.
I mean, they might still sell ammo, but I know they were talking, like, after I left Walmart, they were talking about getting rid of the guns, and then they actually got rid of the actual guns, but still had the ammo, so I don't know if they still carry ammo
Well, see,
in this part of...
Someone has it, maybe, I don't know, maybe in more liberal cities or states, but
Yeah.
guarantee you go to fucking Walmart in Texas or Idaho
Yeah.
or Montana and get some of that shit. But it's funny. Like, the amount of, over this last year, but especially since Biden got elected,
Yeah.
last was just this massive rate in increases in purchases and background check applications
Yeah.
to buy. And then when Biden got in office, it's even more skyrocketed.
Yeah.
And some people are like, hey, thanks for the stimulus. Here's a picture of my AR, fucker. Epic fail.
Yeah, and like we were talking about before when I mentioned, most of the people I've talked to, regardless of whether it's Republican or Democrat, most people don't give a shit that I've talked to. Most people don't give a shit about whether somebody's got a gun. It's all in how they use it.
And I mean, the ones that do piss me off, there's a story just recently that this little girl shot, they're like under 5, under 5.
Yeah.
She found a gun in the sofa cushion and
Oh yeah.
came over there and shot the brother. I mean, you can get trigger locks, you can get those little safes where you have to do with your codes and
Yeah,
you know,
like I was at Home Depot.
Yeah.
They actually sold gun safes,
Yeah.
and the two major ones that they had were the ones where you had the dial that you had to spin,
yeah.
and then one where you actually had to put in like a 3 to 5 digit code or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, mine's got just a spinning on it.
And then I've seen a couple where you had to do both.
And they even make like little boxes, you know, like
Yeah.
the size of a shoebox. And usually those people like have in their bedroom, maybe their nightstand.
Yeah.
But usually it's got usually it's a finger. A lot of them are like fingers, you know, you put there and like deep.
Yeah.
You know, or you put a trigger lock on it.
Yeah.
What the fucking hell?
Yeah. I mean, regardless of whether it's just me,
Yeah.
or if I ever in the future, if I ever get a family,
Mm-hmm.
if I get a gun, I'm getting something where I'm locking it up, and I've got a trigger lock on it, or I've got
Yeah.
like the actual gun, like locked up so you can't use it even if you get into the safe.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't need. It's kind of.
I mean, that's overkill,
But the
yes.
thing is, if you got to get one fast, and you got to try to get the key for the lock, and by
Yeah.
that time something bad might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of people, and it's obviously it's fanning the flames of the media. A lot of people haven't grown up with guns. There's this irrational fear of them.
Yeah. I mean, yes, there is that. I don't know if I should say that I have a fear or if it's like more of a kind of a respect thing because I know what guns can do. But there is something there. I know what the possibilities are if somebody shoots a gun.
We even have when you do get your concealed carry permit.
Yeah. If I ever get it in the future.
I don't have one, but and you can even there's even some YouTube stuff that's come up on Facebook. They teach you exactly what the laws are, the stupid scenarios that you can and cannot shoot back at somebody in self-defense.
Right. And I know each state does have slightly different stuff for that, just because of who's in charge.
And even like this one we were just watching, the last guy that got shot.
Yeah.
He tried to run over two cops, and then he's driving away. And then they copped him and killed him.
Yeah.
See, I mean, if someone is running away, I think in most states, most cities, most laws, you can't shoot.
Yeah.
Now...
Yeah, like
if they have shot at you and they got a gun, you think that's more of a getting gray or the one down at Atlanta?
yeah. If they already shot at you but they're running away, chances are the laws will say that if they're running away, regardless of whether they shot or not, at least in Minnesota anyway.
Yeah. Well, I got him to fucking beat that.
Yeah.
Like the one that was down, I think it's Atlanta, where he was passed out in the Wendy's and they burned the Wendy's.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you the story. It was all nice. It was, hey, sir, are you okay? You park your car over here. You need medical attention. And then he was cordial. The cops were cordial. And then they suspected he had more than one drink.
Yeah.
It was like a good 210, 250. One drink.
One drink at most is going to be what? 0.5?
Probably like 0.1, 1.01,
Yeah.
for a guy that big. And then, it takes 40 minutes to metabolize one drink.
Yeah. Give or take.
Dedicate your liver and how much you're hydrated.
Yeah.
It's why, if you look at those BAC charts,
Yeah.
for the same amount of drinks and the same amount of weight, women get a higher blood alcohol count. Because alcohol is distributed through your body. Most of your body is mostly water, right?
Yeah.
Women tend to have more
Smaller.
body fat. I mean, say it's a 150-pound woman, 150-pound guy, three drinks, 3 hours, whatever, but his number is going to be lower than hers.
Right.
Because women tend to have higher body fat, and so therefore less water. So
Body fat absorbs the alcohol a little
there's
bit
less
more.
water to process it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
But like with somebody like me though, you take somebody that's 240, like for me I'm 240, pretty much nothing but muscle, or nothing but.
Put you against a 240-pound bodybuilder, and he's going to be way lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew exactly where I was going with that.
I think I figured out the mystery. So I was I'm just constantly sweeping here.
Yeah.
Some of that a little bit of food, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like these black tarry spots, and my feet will be all black.
Yeah.
And I'm sweeping them up, and I sweep them up, and I'm like, okay, I think maybe part of it is maybe it's like the dust in here.
Yeah.
But I only have one window. So in the wintertime, there's nothing to get in here, right? Okay, maybe it's dust bunnies,
Yeah.
Under my bed, I gotta do somehow, but I gotta heal. See if when Tebow cleans if he'll do it, but he's just got his own it's closed. Anyways. But I figured out what it is. They're a big contributing factor. So I think what happens is the grease from there, it gets up and it lands on things.
Makes sense.
And you know where, because a lot of them I peel it off, I'm like, what is this? It's kind of like sticky and hairy. It's from this.
Yeah. So the grease will fly off when you're cooking, land on your blanket, and then somehow
It's on my feet and...
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, but like the one I was just talking about where they burned down the Wendy's.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything was all copacetic. Because at first, the only thing you saw in the video was the chase scene, where they're running after him and they shoot him, right? But they didn't tell you the whole story.
They never do.
Then I saw the whole thing from the time they rolled up.
Yeah.
to that, and that whole thing was at the end, and everything in between.
Yeah.
And the body cameras. So it's nicey.
Yeah.
All of them were being nice.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, they were concerned that, and he was black, but I think
That shouldn't matter.
somebody's talking, and they had a DOI, because I don't know why every cop can't be there. Sometimes they have to bring the guy who's like trained in DOI, or don't you all get training? Anyways, the other guy shows up, they're talking again, and then they go try to like put your hands behind your back.
Yeah.
Try to cuff him. And then fucking all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
And
So
I don't know how
they
many-
basically suspect him of something. They detain him for a little. Want to detain him for a little bit while they check.
And then if he blew, and he was clean, they let me know. They just want to say, basically said, we want to make sure you're safe to drive.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they even got the one cuff on him. Then they wrestle, and I mean at least 10, 15 times.
Yeah.
Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Yeah.
Then he somehow wrestles the cop's taser.
Yeah.
And what we find out in the earlier one was they're chasing him down, and he's firing back at them with the taser.
Yeah.
If you get hit in the body, you get tased.
Yeah.
You get hit in the eye with one of the darts,
You can go
you
blind.
lose your sight. So that one, he's running away, but he's not really running away. And he wasn't initially on guard, but now he's got a taser, so he's armed.
Yeah. He's still armed.
And the training, and this makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're talking to Indy, right? Their training is if you use something, we use the next level of force.
Yeah.
But like, I told you, one girl, I think she finally got shot. So I don't know, fucking age kid. Really big. And that they suspected she had something with crash. Get her out, and she's on the phone. I need you right here. I don't know if it was your brother or
Yeah.
whatever.
Basically on the phone saying somebody needs to come over here.
Yeah, because this is wrong, right?
Yeah.
So then she dives back in her car again, and she's probably going for the gun. And then I think they tased her once, then she got out of the car and she's running. They tased her again.
Towards or away from them.
But yeah, she's running away. I don't know if they saw the gun or whatever. So then I think she somehow got back to the car and was trying to drive away. I think she did drive away. Pretty sure she did.
Yeah.
Get back to the driver's seat. They tase her again with the darts and the little window. They can do it like that.
Yeah.
So they've been tased like 3 times now. They both. And then gets in the car and it's like, yeah, they didn't shoot her. I think maybe down the road they did. And yeah, because I think they caught up to her and then the gun was out.
Yeah.
But I didn't know this. God, apparently you have to actually look this up. She was big, a bigger girl.
Yeah.
And apparently sometimes the darts can't penetrate through all the fat.
I've heard that. I've heard with like if it's somebody that's like fat and the darts actually wind up hitting somewhere that there's a lot of fat.
Does it?
It basically does the same thing as if the person's jacked up on like PCP or something.
What's what happened to Rodney King?
Yeah.
You know, when people jacked up on that, and there's a couple of them,
Yeah.
they're like fucking huge superhero strength.
Yeah.
They feel no pain.
Yeah.
I think Rodney got tased at least fucking 8 times.
Yeah.
Now, I disagree with them beating the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just tackled him, got the cuffs on.
Doing that other stuff, like once they get the cuffs on, they'll wind up doing
Because they just
beating
had a little,
shit.
they're like having their club like they're beating a little fucking
Yeah.
seal, right?
Yeah.
And and I get it too, like, and I don't remember if he had always known, had a lot of records or something, like records. Think about though, a lot of these guys, they're putting their lives on the line every day.
Yeah.
Men or women. And
And I'll admit, yes, there's a few bad cops out there.
But they have to deal with some pretty fucking crazy shit.
Good cop or bad cop, there are other crazy people out there who are willing to go above and beyond to do other shit, and that cops do always have to be aware. Regardless of my opinion on the whole defund the police thing, which I think is bullshit, in my opinion. Granted, everybody else can have their own opinion. I'm not going to criticize them for that. But,
Everyone's got a right to their own opinion.
yeah.
But
But,
just watch what happened even when it started being talked about. Everyone's like, fucking A. Cops are defunding, not prosecuting us crime. Let's just shut up with them motherfucker.
You've seen the original RoboCop movie, right?
I mean, it's been so long ago. I didn't.
But like the whole premise of like how in the movie Detroit had its crime skyrocket because of like privatized police forces that couldn't do anything, so they wound up getting RoboCop.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what is starting to happen now with the defund the police thing.
There's actually one. I don't know what city it is. I think it might be Detroit. And I don't know how many people they have. But they're all dressed in taxable gear. It's a private military company.
Yeah.
And they protect buildings, businesses, individuals. Obviously people have a little bit of money, but we're talking about one business. They can blow up. They're going to close the doors. And wait till the place is locked up. The person walked to the car, and they go sign on, and they actually sit there for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think their minimum calls like 15 minutes. I don't know if they charge people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're small, but I mean, that's what's going to happen. Or, all the fucking rednecks and militias will be like, fuck this shit, I'm taking my city back.
Yeah.
Chicago, LA, those places, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. No. I'll admit there might be something there. I'm not sure how badly this is or whether or not this is an actual thing, but there might be something there where, like, when you mentioned something about, like, the person in the drive-thru that was drunk and falling asleep and all that.
He was passed out.
And, it might have possibly, I don't know the full story with that, but I had something similar happen to me where I was driving, but I was tired. I wasn't drunk, but I was tired. Apparently, according to the cop, I was swerving all over the road, back and forth between lanes when I wasn't. And he had me, pulled me over, told me to pull into a parking lot. Basically let me out with a warning, said take a nap in the parking lot, drive home in the morning.
Right. Because you probably had everything, your license, insurance, and registration, and they were current. You didn't reach for anything.
Well, the cop didn't ask for my insurance,
okay.
But usually they do, yes. But the cop asked for my ID. I said, hey, I gotta take my seatbelt off. Made sure the cop knew I was wearing my seatbelt. Said, hey, I gotta take my seatbelt off.
Yeah.
My wallet is in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I just grabbed my ID.
It's like, just don't make fast moves.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything that...
But you know what, almost every one of these little things that's popping up in the news,
Yeah.
100% of these would not have resulted in a shooting, death.
I mean...
If they, even if they had warrants and felonies and
Yeah.
the revoked license, if they didn't resist arrest.
Going back to what happened, what was it, earlier this year with the, I'm just going to say kid, even though he was like 20-some years old, but the person in Brooklyn Center.
Yeah, where lady cop shot him.
Yeah, the lady cop mistook the taser for the gun, which I still think is bullshit. How do you mistake a taser for a gun? But the dude was basically, they had his arms behind his back. She was going up to cuff him, and he pushes them away, jumps into the car, and then she shoots.
Yeah, and I can't remember if we have to look at that again, but I think you told me, right? So it's very typical. They always carry their sidearm on their strong side if they're right-handed, and
Yeah.
taser over here. Tasers are bright fucking yellow.
Different grip, different...
And super light. And I watched her in the video. Taser. I'm like, that's not a taser.
She's looking right at it.
And it's all black, and it's way heavier.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not there. And she was probably scared.
Yeah. I mean, I get the whole scared thing makes you a little confused, but still, if you're a cop and you got your main weapon on your dominant hand and your taser on your offhand, how do you reach for your gun thinking it's a taser?
You know, I'm not her. I wasn't there.
Right.
We don't know what went through her mind.
Right.
We'll hear in the trial.
Yeah, it'll come up in the trial. Yeah.
She's gonna get manslaughter.
Yeah, she's gonna get something.
Okay, I don't think it's gonna be a murder. I think she's only charged with manslaughter.
Right.
You know that one in Wisconsin. So a guy had a bunch of warrants out, including raping a 12-year-old girl, raiding order against his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Went to the girlfriend's house. They called 911. He took her keys. Then cops show up. Then they're trying to wrestle him. Then he goes to his car. Tries to get in his car. He's got a knife. And that's when he got shot.
So he tries grabbing the knife and getting out and attacking somebody.
Plus, he probably took out the cops. Yeah. Plus, what are you doing? I don't even know why he's still walking around. He should have been at least in jail pending charges or in jail charged with the fucking rape of a 12-year-old.
Yeah, that alone should be enough to send somebody to jail. And I've heard stories about what people in jail do to people that rape.
They don't like rapists or criminals. That's why most of those they send up to that separate place.
Yeah.
But like I said, $150 a year, and most of them are never going to get out.
Hmm. Now, if it's like you asked me before about the death penalty. I'm not sure if you gave your thoughts on it, but like I said before, if it's something that's proven, that's like basically what that guy in Wisconsin did to the 12-year-old, if it is definitely like 100% without a doubt, then I can, yeah.
You know, and after a while, I mean, you know, if it's like you said, if it's beyond reasonable doubt, they have to, you know, so if there's any reasonable doubt, and that's the one in Floyd, that I think the jurors were scared.
Yeah.
Because it just takes one, it's got to be unanimous.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't think the prosecution did a good enough job about, you know, and I saw two autopsy reports. One said he died from the neck thing, another one said he probably or likely died of fentanyl overdose, which
I can kind of see both sides of the story there.
So, so that puts a little sliver of doubt.
Yes.
Right, so, yes, he was not. Neither was the guy who got shot up in Brooklyn Park, whatever. And they let him out too. He fucking choked and robbed a lady at gunpoint for rent money.
Yeah.
In her apartment.
But then when it comes to like, I'm sure you'd at least heard this story that came public with Breonna Taylor.
That's what I was just thinking of, yeah.
Yeah.
She was just about to stab that girl in the face. And I think that, like, they said the cop was there for like under 10 seconds. And had to make that split decision.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it.
Yeah, like the whole story that made public with Breonna Taylor is that they were there serving a warrant for a completely different address. They break the door down.
That's a different one. I'm thinking of the two girls that, one with the knife. I remember the Breonna Taylor, right?
But yeah, the whole story with the Breonna Taylors, they were there serving a warrant for a completely different address, and they break the door down. The boyfriend winds up pulling a gun in self-defense because he, regardless of whether they said they were cops or not, he still was.
Warrant, they just come in, right?
Yeah.
They'll usually yell once they're open the door, right?
Right, but regardless of whether they said anything or not, he pulled the gun in self-defense. Yeah. Thinking it was robbers, and she wound up getting shot and died.
And I understand why he might have thought that. From my understanding, they had their hotel was full of drugs. Not for personal use.
Right.
They were selling shit.
But like even then though, the address of the warrant was something like miles down the street, like 2 to 3 miles down the street is what I heard.
I don't know. I think that one might have been the right one, but there was one other one recently. They did do that. They broke into the house, and it was the wrong house. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
Another one I found really funny. This is like goes back a few years. It was in St. Paul.
Yeah.
Police got called.
Yeah.
And he was black.
Yeah.
Comes out. He's got a gun. And this girl's like, put it down, please don't shoot him.
Yeah.
So I guess however happened, if he pointed him or whatever, he shot him.
He at least had the gun.
So, at that point, if he should just drop it, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not going to use it, I will just put it down. So anyways,
Yeah, I mean, if I had a gun and I open the door with the gun and it's the cops,
Yeah.
the first thing I'm going to say is, I have a gun,
Yeah.
I'm going to set it down,
Yeah.
I don't mean to use it.
And then it's just fused.
Yeah,
So the thing that I find fucking crazy
yeah,
is like they call them like advocates, like at Salvation Army.
yeah.
Like they're like the kind of like people out around it, you know.
The people that are there to try and help people out. And,
Well, like even that one, like you know, they check for your badge. And,
Yeah.
You know, they give you toiletries, things like that.
yeah,
I mean, there's security there too, right? And then they have social workers. But these are like the ones like there's like one that
the
would be-
people behind the desk that actually hand out stuff.
Yeah, and then
for
like on
people
the
to
second
use.
floor, because even the safety, on the second floor, they
Yeah.
sit up there. They have different shifts, right? And you know, they watch people, and you know,
Yeah,
you have to do paperwork or you get your mail, and then so one of the guys in there, it was like rooms, and I think there was
I think I lost my bunk once because of some mix-up where they thought I wasn't coming back when I checked out that morning.
yeah.
But then they said, we'll have you sleep on the mat tonight,
Mm-hmm.
but when we check you out in the morning, we'll give you your bunk back.
Oh.
I mean, I was able to just sit there saying, hey, I'm kind of pissed off about it. I kept my cool,
Yeah, at that point where you got it.
but I was firm,
Yeah.
and I laid everything out and said, hey, I'm kind of pissed off. I checked out that morning.
Mm-hmm.
I should get my bunk back. And they said, well, there's nothing we can do about it now. So when we check out, we've never seen the guy that got your bunk before, so there's a high chance they're not coming back tonight.
Yeah.
And if he does come back tonight, we'll give him a mat and you can have your bunk back.
And then like one time, it's kind of a similar story but different.
Yeah.
So you know, I checked out every morning. And this was like January, it was cold as fuck.
Yeah.
And I think I was drinking.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it was before 7, we were between 5 and 7 when we had to go to night.
Yeah.
And I had a bunk at the time, he's like, we're full. I'm like, I have a reservation I got to get this morning. He's like, well, I can see that, but we're overbooked. So I'm like, then what's the point of getting a reservation every morning?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, St. Olaf does this to us all the time.
Oh, what do you fucking do?
So I
St.
went-
Olaf only goes off of how many open bunks you have.
Yeah, I went to
and
ask
if you
him.
check out
Yep.
in the morning,
And you got
that
your reservation?
reserves that bunk
Yeah.
so nobody can check in on that bunk.
And exactly, I went over to St. Olaf. So anyway, so I rode the light rail.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go. And of course, what happens? I get fucking mugged.
Yeah.
Right. So I go back to St. Olaf, and I'm like, he's like, there's no way we do that. We look at number of beds, number of reservations. If there's a couple extra, we'll get somebody a reservation.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no, not, you know, like for over what, a year and a half I was there. We did
Yeah.
it once. And here I am, middle of fucking January. It's like 20 below, and I guess I'll just buy. You know, I probably had enough money to buy one ticket or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get fucking mugged, no backpack, no ID, and
Yeah.
oh, but I really miss Gwen.
Yeah. And I know.
she had a little bit of a punch,
Yeah.
but God, she was hot.
Yeah. And then there's that one I'm sure I mentioned to you. I forget her name. She was
The
tall,
tall, thin black girl.
thin white girl.
No, there's
I know who you're talking about for the tall, thin black girl, but
yeah, and she's always sometimes wears those like knee-high boots. And,
Yeah.
she wasn't there that long. But, yeah.
No. But like there was that tall, thin white girl. She had like shoulder-length, curly brown hair. It was like that light, almost like dirty blondish
Maybe
brown.
it was either before I was there or after I left.
She was there a few times before you were there, and I think she showed up once after you left.
Okay. Yeah. No, I remember Gwen, Paul, Joe, the
Yeah.
little asshole fat black dude who just sit behind there.
Yeah. And then there was that stocky, kind of about my height, kind of stocky black dude who was in the army for a while. I'll be able to recognize his name if I hear it, but I cannot remember it. But that dude was always an asshole to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was nice to everyone else, but like there was one time I had.
don't see it. You don't seem like the kind of person that pisses people off.
I try not to, right? And yet I always seem to get the people that get pissed off at me for no reason. Like, just as an example, like I was just telling you about the short, stocky black dude that was in the army.
Mm-hmm.
There was one time I had a cooler in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had probably about 5 or 6 sodas in there. I was taking them out, rolling cigarettes for Wayne, taking a soda out every once in a while, drinking it. Dude comes barreling around the corner from the front, basically over across from the main entrance to the where they gave out the linens,
Yeah.
and then books it all the way back to me. Threatens to kick me out
Because of a cooler?
because he thought I was selling stuff,
Oh.
which I was sitting right under the camera.
Yeah.
I told him multiple times, hey, I'm not selling stuff. Wayne was sitting at the table too. Wayne vouched for me saying, hey, I was just drinking sodas, not selling them.
Yeah.
And if anything, Wayne...
But all you guys, and the other guy with the white older guy with the curly hair, Dave or something.
Dave, yeah.
Nobody was selling shit there.
Yeah.
I mean, we go to Target for you, and you'd sell pop and stuff.
Dave would sell candies every once in a while.
Yeah.
I stopped, granted, yes, there were times I did get sodas to sell.
Mm-hmm. Cigarettes is a no-brainer, right? Everyone...
Wayne and another person wound up selling cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then there's a few other people who had bunks.
Yeah.
And since the cameras apparently didn't go down the rows of bunks, people would sell like weed and pills and...
Yeah. Yeah, I know people that deal with dummies just sneak in pints of vodka all the time.
Yeah. There are ways to sneak stuff in there.
Like, but yours is dumb.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what it is, like, you know, if it's, you know, if you're drunk, it's one thing. Maybe it's good amounts, right? But if you're sneaking alcohol or drugs in, typically I think it's a year.
It's supposed to be 6 months for the first offense, a year for the second, and then lifetime for the third.
But these fuckers don't realize it's all under one umbrella.
Yeah.
So if it's just 6 months at higher ground, also go Salvation Army. You know, it applies across the board, motherfucker.
Yep. Yeah. Ever since St. Olaf's took over for the bookings,
Yep.
if you get 6 months at higher ground, that applies for Salvation Army. That 6 months also applies for whatever that one down off of 24th is. Because I know there's one like off of 24th and something.
One of those, it's like this. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I
then
think
there's
it's
one.
St. Stephen's.
Then there's one close to you by the U.S. Bank Stadium.
Yeah, there's one close to me. So it applies to all of those.
And I don't know. It's probably would be in their system if it was higher ground. You probably couldn't even go to higher ground in St. Paul. So
Yeah.
I think St. Olaf just does Minneapolis, but still.
But still, if it's in the higher ground system,
Yeah.
if you're banned from higher ground, like if they actually physically ban you from higher ground, not only does it apply for all the shelters in Minneapolis, the 5 shelters in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
it also applies for the higher ground in St. Paul.
Yeah.
It also applies for the whatever that one off of Chicago, like 18th in Chicago or whatever it is.
Is there a shelter there?
It's not a shelter. It's whatever people go there for tokens and meals and all that.
Oh, the branch.
Yeah.
17th in Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck that too.
Yeah.
You have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Hope you can go steal a sleeping bag and find a good bridge.
Yeah.
And you're probably gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Was it worth it to not wait? You know.
And here's the fun part. I know you mentioned something about this.
About smoking weed before you just wait till you get back outside.
Pretty much. Combine that with the fact that like people would always get into arguments like 5 minutes before they leave.
Yes.
And they'd get banned for getting into a fight 5 minutes before they leave.
Yeah.
Or smoke weed 10 minutes before they leave and get caught.
Yeah.
Regardless of what I think about smoking weed, if there's a place that you're staying that has a policy of no weed, you don't smoke weed in the building.
And you want to cry discrimination, whatever, you know what? You made a bad personal choice.
Yeah.
You knew what the rules were.
Yeah.
But, you know, some people don't give a fuck.
Hey,
Now-
if they gave a fuck, do you think they'd get into a fight 5 minutes before they left and get banned for 6 months?
There's probably something else going on.
That's Exactly. Regardless of whether they have something going on upstairs or not.
Yeah.
It's that kind of BS that made me stay away from people. I don't want to deal with the drama.
So I even like going downtown. I
Yeah.
figured you know, either go early enough and catch the bus right there, or if we got a lift, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, another just fucking, what, a couple days later, all these people get shot up.
Yeah. And then Sarge,
Yeah.
I think my favorite story from back at the shelter has to deal with Sarge. And I know I mentioned this to you.
Which one?
So I'm sitting back at the table, right? It's me and Wayne sitting at the table.
Yeah.
And of course there's that glass wall separating the table that I'm sitting at from the smoke room.
Mm-hmm.
Sarge is sitting in there with somebody else passing a bottle back and forth. There's 2 cameras in the smoke room. Another one outside the smoke room pointed into the smoke room.
Yeah.
Joe comes around the corner, stands
Of course
next
it's gonna be Joe.
He comes around the corner, stands next to the table,
Yeah.
and just sits there watching him for like 5 minutes, passing the bottle back and forth.
Yeah.
Goes into the smoke room, doesn't go all the way in, but stands in the doorway and basically calls, "Hey Sarge, you're out." So at that point, Sarge had the bottle hidden because he realized Joe was there.
Uh-huh. I've already watched it, dude.
But he's sitting there. The only thing Joe says is, "You're out."
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't drinking. I wasn't drinking.
Did I say anything about drinking? I said that.
I don't have a bottle. So Joe's basically says, "Bullshit. You hid it in your pants pocket. You're out. It's on camera."
Yep. No disputing this. Plus, I'm in fucking charge here.
Yeah.
I did get scolded for something.
And the funny thing about that though, he was out for the night, but he was back the next night, drunk as a skunk.
I'm surprised they didn't let him get him 30 days or 6 months or something.
They've tried giving him 30 days, but then they let him in again the next night.
See, that's what's just like these prosecutors. You know what? We're talking about a little bit. Go back and
Yeah.
talking about police reform. We also need prosecution reform.
Yes.
Because a lot of these people who are doing these bad things
Wind up
should-
walking away.
shouldn't have to be out in public to just do what just happened the last month. And the more that happens, the more they get emboldened. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
You've got to have a deterrence strong enough where most people would say, I probably shouldn't do that.
But on the case of the deterrence, you also actually have to follow through with the deterrence.
That's what I mean. You have to prosecute. You don't let them fucking murder charge and you plea him down to disorderly and let him walk.
Yeah.
You fucking insane. Or these no bails. This guy just does a felony in New York. Or we don't have this no bail thing. And like, there's this something called a Minnesota Freedom Fund.
Yeah. I've heard of it.
So basically, it's this private organization
Yeah.
that's got all these donations, and they use it because, you know, bail is racial. Okay, well, maybe more racial people are causing crimes to need bail anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, and Camel Toe Harris was encouraging people to donate to them
Yeah.
last summer. They were bailing all the people out that were doing the writing.
Yeah.
Also bailed out someone was booked for molesting a little child.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you're supporting this organization? Are you fucking insane? Yeah, if I'm a judge or whatever, I'm like, okay, you're like this murder guy that's one about the nightclub downtown just now.
Yeah.
And he's in jail now with no bail.
Hmm.
Not he has no bail. They're not allowing him bail.
Yeah.
I mean, how the fuck do you plea down from 3 gang-related felonies to disturbing the peace? And first of all, the attorney they had his name in the article. Was we caught this is the earlier case, right? Now
Yeah.
this just happened. Yeah, we got him. Starting to be tough on crime. Here's all the list of the 3 federal felony charges that are all gang related. So I think they get escalations on that too.
Yeah.
I think it's like some poison.
It's all online.
No, but it's like okay, you get the charge, but now it's gang related, so adding extra.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe if it's 10 to 15 years, well, I want to give you the maximum.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you gotta follow through on the deterrence too.
Yeah.
But I did get in trouble once. I just got scolded. Sarge was passed out as usual.
Oh, the banana?
The banana, yeah. It's like, I'm like, he's my friend, he's just a goof. Like, don't
You were fooling around. You put the banana in his crotch and took a picture.
Well, yeah, he was laying on his stomach, right? So, you know, I'm like, it was just gonna be funny. We'll have laugh for him tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you know, I was telling you about Hannah being alive and stuff. You know who Bear is, right?
I've met a few people that go by that name.
It's kind of about your size.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He was, and he actually worked for. You met him because
Yeah,
he was.
I know exactly who you're talking.
Right?
Yeah.
So he said he was in the Marines.
Yeah.
Almost anybody's in the Marines has a Marine Corps tattoo.
Yeah.
And then he said he was a sniper.
Yeah.
But he's like, I used my grandfather was a colonel. I used his rifle. No, you don't. They don't let you take your private weapons.
No.
You get, you know,
You're assigned a weapon
yeah,
that the Army owns,
yeah,
and you use that weapon
yeah.
until you're discharged.
Mhm.
I may not know much about
Yeah.
armed forces, but
And Sarge says he was a Marine, but he's got that Vikings tattoo.
he's got the Vikings tattoo. I haven't seen any other tattoo. Maybe like one other random tattoo.
So Bear's
but-
just always full of shit, right?
yeah.
But the thing is, like, here's just like I said. Like with Sarge saying he fucked that girl right in the middle of the day in front of 1800 Chicago.
Yeah.
So,
Which I can kind of see that being true if it wasn't for the fact that Sarge lies.
and it's Sarge, and she's hot, and she's like,
Yeah.
I didn't find out, I told you. But. So anyway, you know, on the way to the cafeteria, it's always showering between there and the chapel.
Yeah.
There's a little hallway.
Yeah.
There's a little clinic in there.
Yep, I know right where that is. I may not have been there for long, but I was there. Actually, no, I did go to that clinic one time. One time.
They call these fuckers back again. So there's another clinic that you go down Chicago and you get off on 15th and you walk like 2 blocks instead of church. I do it Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings, but you gotta call and establish new. I went down there and
Yeah.
they're just closing, and I'm like, I'm here to set up a patient. No, I used to go off on your website specifically said you would show up in person.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want, because I don't want to go on Salvation Army. But
Right.
so on Mondays and Wednesdays they changed up a little bit. Some of them looked at Thursdays. It's chiropractic. And on Tuesdays was Chinese medicine acupuncture. And the guy who did the chiropractor was Dr. Novak.
Yeah. I've heard that name.
So
A lot of people like Novak.
he's pretty cool. We had a great relationship. So, and we were at church one day. And
Yeah.
it was just like blah blah blah, Marine this, Marine that. And he's like, yeah, Dr. Novak and I served in the Corps together.
Uh-oh.
Dude, that fucking stupid. You know I go to see him every week.
Yeah.
I could verify, and I did it kind of casually.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you know Bear, right? Yeah. And he's like, I didn't say he said. I said, did you guys serve together? He's like, no, I was in way before he was. I was out. I was in it way before I out before he was even in there.
Yeah.
But he said, if he was. Yeah. But I'm like, fuck, what? I don't like lying anyway. But like, if you know somebody can fucking verify something that easy, you got some fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs going on.
Yeah. And like, I'm not gonna say a name.
Yeah.
You may or may not have met this guy. But I'm not saying his real name. A, because I don't remember his real name. B, he went by this nickname at the time that. But his nickname was Wicked. I'm sure you'd recognize him if you saw him. If I could pull up
Yeah.
pictures of him, but he is fatter than I am.
Mm-hmm.
He's got seizures. He's got, this, that, and the other wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the seizures that he has are triggered by light flashes, because I've heard him say multiple times, while looking at an ambulance with its lights flashing.
Yeah, don't go to a fucking rock concert.
But he was saying, like, let's say your computer's the ambulance with its lights flashing. He would go, I can't look at an ambulance with its lights flashing because it'll give me seizures.
Then why are you looking at it? I was just thinking when we were at the strip club the other night, right?
Mm.
I'm like, man, with strobes on, I'm like,
Yeah.
somebody had, a lot of people have epilepsy too, right?
Yeah.
Also, there's,
Yeah, it'll be like the light will cause them to have seizures, and then
it's like when,
they'll be breakdancing on the floor, and nobody will know whether they're actually having the seizures or not.
fuck around with a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
But like, he was sitting there saying, oh yeah, this, that, and the other's wrong with me, and oh yeah, I served in the Navy, and I know the guys that the guys in the Navy that recorded that you know that song Aruba, Jamaica.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how a lot of people I want to say it was like people that served. I don't know whether it was like Army, Navy, Marines, whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of people who served wound up recording their own music video for that.
Okay.
And he says he knew those guys, even though he's just as old as I am, and that music video was filmed before I was born.
Right. You know,
I mean, like, it's on YouTube now, but, like, the quality of it is, like, one of those old, like, you know, those big, like, 2-foot-long video cameras that
oh yeah.
that had the
shoulder-mounted thing, yeah.
pretty much. It was filmed on one of those.
Okay. I mean, there's other stories. I mean, I don't, but I mean, just I'm not there. I don't give a shit. You fucking lie. But just in general, why would people lie when you know you can fucking verify it?
Yeah.
And now I don't trust a word that comes out of your mouth.
I mean, I when I first meet somebody,
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust a word that comes out of anyone's mouth to begin with. That trust is out for me, regardless of whether it's
You gotta build trust.
yeah, regardless of whether it's saying, "Hey, I'm going to do this,"
Mm-hmm.
or "Hey, this happened to me." There's always that trust there. If there's no trust,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe what you're saying. And like with me, I've known you long enough where I trust
Yeah.
most of what you say, and I can usually tell if you're bullshitting me.
I have no reason to.
Yeah, and, like you have no reason to bullshit me.
And I'd rather never bullshit you because then I start, eroding some trust and we have to
Yeah,
Well, I've met so many girls like through like Facebook and Facebook dating.
yeah,
None of them fucking live here, of course.
yeah. And I'm sure you remember why you unfriended me on Facebook.
Yeah, because like I was just my whole like notifications. I mean, I don't know, I can put you back on there, but I mean, it was I was getting like 10, 20 a day,
Yeah,
and they were all like total sketchy. Right?
yeah. I mean, at the point where
Are you still getting a lot of those, or?
I'm still getting the requests, but I'm blocking them.
Yeah, I just blocked them all, but it's like a pain in the ass. I got
Yeah.
other shit going on. So like a lot of these girls, I mean, I was telling the same fucking thing. Like, oh, you need $50.
Yeah.
And then I started trying to verify stuff. One of the girls said she's over in Afghanistan. And blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a couple
Do you
months.
give you the sob story about like this happened and this happened and, while
Oh,
I'm
I know what she wanted. She wanted a Google Play card to fix her firmware. Okay, well,
Google Play Card is to download apps and books, not to fix firmware.
You don't update your firmware with fucking Google Play.
No.
Sound like great bullshit. And then she said, I'm like, why are you like? Said she was, or either I asked her or whatever. She said she was at Bagram Air Force Base.
And was this when we had people on Bagram?
Okay, I know fucking people from Bagram. Go fucking verify right now. So then I asked, it's Beezy, who was also the station there.
Yeah.
It is mostly Air Force, but he's part of 101st Airborne. There
Yeah.
are some special ops guys there. So he's like, ask her this. Ask her what is the only fast food place on Bagram and how they deliver it. The answer, to make it short, is Burger King, and they've got this little like 3-wheel thing with a trailer on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I just kind of looked up your name, and so I'm like, oh, fuck you. Sometimes he's like,
And besides, if you're serving, isn't there a list of people who are in active, like, serving actively?
I don't know if you can look that up publicly or not.
But there is a list out there.
Yeah, but I mean, you might have to be in the military and have some of that.
Right.
Clearance to look it up.
Either you need the clearance or you need some sort of, like, spyware to hack into the,
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna break into DoD.
yeah.
With like some of them might need deals, like deals and stuff. Like, I'm like, you know what? It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
But, I came close with Angela. I told you, the one that's in Chicago that she got the Visa gift cards and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just watching porn sites. Oh shit, that's right. She totally denied it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a picture of her. I just picked up dummies. I must have
Yeah.
put her up her arm. She's got like 3 different, like a little wolf and something else.
Yeah, you showed me the pictures.
Yeah.
She's got like 3 unique tattoos,
Yeah.
like right on
And I'm
one
like, and
shoulder.
here's one that you sent me. I don't do that anymore. I'm like, oh, you must, because we need $50 for you. I'm like, why don't you go do OnlyFans or go work in a strip club for 2 days?
Yeah.
For a week. $500 a month.
Yeah. You do it right.
It's
Like, hell, even from someone like me, I'm fat. I've got a belly. I mean, I might carry it better than a lot of people my size, but I'm still fat. There's people into that. If I find the right audience, I can make a shit ton of money on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people have different tastes. Some people have fetishes, and most of them I think are fucking weird. But you know, in the gay community, I mean, you know, a lot of people like bears. And we're not talking about the bears.
Dub bears.
I mean, you could.
Oh, by the way,
Heart attack.
I'm choking.
Poked a whole fucking pork chop out. He's like, you gotta chew those things. Like, I don't know, it's just think. But they have like go-go dancers at one of the bars, and the first main one on the main floor in the 90s. But they're always pretty hotties.
Yeah, I've heard the 90s has go-go dancers.
Louisa wanted to.
Have you been in, what is the one, it's down, like, it's not the saloon, there's like all the ones that are in downtown, and there's like, if you're going, basically it's like one stop past Hennepin if you're coming from out of downtown. Like if you're taking the blue line from the Mall of America, it's like one stop past Hennepin. There's like, the slogan is, we've got hundreds of pretty girls and 3 ugly ones.
That's funny.
And it's like right off of like Washington and like a block or 2 past First.
Okay. It's not choice, is it?
It's not choice.
It's not Deja Vu. It's not
It is the Boo.
The Vu?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's funny.
Yeah, I remember like a while ago I was with somebody, they drove past the Voo and pointed out the slogan to me, and then I was down there last summer with somebody picking up a drink. Or they went to a bar there, I just went with them. And it was probably about a block or so from the Voo, and they still had that sign up. Hundreds of pretty girls, 3 ugly ones. I mean, there's somebody out there for everybody.
Right. You haven't been to the saloon, have you?
No. The only place I've been was the Cabaret. I've been to the 90s once, but I've been to the bar portion during the day back when I was homeless.
Yeah. And like I've been to the saloon a couple times at night.
Yeah.
So the first time ever was his name now? Latino dude. I met him when I was in New Way, and
Yeah.
like I said, most of my gay friends.
Yeah.
We're having a going away dinner and party for him, and
Yeah.
we're downtown. We went uptown, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna go out to the saloon.
Yeah.
Do you want to come with?" And he's like, "Comfortable?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, who cares?" And I wasn't like, I didn't know. This is the first day where, well, actually, no, I did do once before, okay.
Yeah.
So I go in there, and it was fine, except for shock. It was like dude that was wearing nothing but a thong. He was really buffed.
Yeah.
Nothing but a thong and some like piped up kind of athletic shoes, Jordans.
Yeah.
I'll go dancing at a bar. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
That, I've heard stories of stuff like that happening.
Then they have a shower there.
Yeah.
You know about the shower?
I've seen the ad for the shower.
And basically, I can't remember if
And
it's
then-
a towel or whatever, but
What?
just dancing there, and people put dollars in one of those little bucket there.
Yeah. What's the place that's got the giant dick?
That's the 90s.
That is the 90s?
Yeah, it's probably from this wall at least till the end of the
Yeah.
stove. It's about this big around.
But
Oh my God, Louisa
But
had
the
me-
size, maybe a little bigger than one of those mechanical bowls.
Well, it's way longer than that.
It's longer than that, yeah, but
Yeah, girth-wise, I don't know, but Louisa had me take so many pictures of her on it that she's like licking the tip.
yeah.
But so we did go one night, and it was like funny, and she was like, "Let's go see the gates." She was just like,
interested. Never really met
She
anyone.
just thought it was fascinating.
Yeah.
And then she loved going through the drag. She's like, look at their makeup.
Yeah.
And those little
A lot of-
girls are prima donna bitches though. She's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, your makeup's so pretty, and I'm a model. And girls like, pfft.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're at the saloon and there's a
I mean,
guy.
a lot of the times, a lot of the stories I've heard, they do the prima donna stuff just as part of the act with.
Yeah, she was just on stage talking, or off stage talking
Yeah.
to girls. But so at the saloon one night, there was a guy in the shower, and he basically just had kind of a loincloth on.
Yeah.
And then she goes up and he's just dancing around. And she goes up and tips.
Yeah.
And does this. And he was a grower. He was just like, oh my god, what kind of place is this? You said you've been there, right?
The cabaret is the one.
No, at P90s.
Oh, the 90s?
Yeah.
Never been.
Okay. So you.
Oh wait, no, not to the actual. Like I've been to the bar part. I went back to the bathrooms, and I saw the giant dick.
Okay. So you pay your cover. You walk in. You know, you take a left. There's the dick. And there's that bar, right?
Yeah.
So there's another little bar in like a nightclub dance area.
Yeah.
Usually there's not. Like I've seen it a couple times where there's like a foam party going on.
Yeah.
I had to piss the racers. That's a bathroom right here.
Yeah. Go in. You see the.
There's another little bar back there.
Yeah.
You know what that one is?
For private time.
Yeah, little booths. Then there's two like fucking flat screens, big as this fucking table.
Yeah.
And one of them it's a locker room scene and it's a gangbang on one dude. And this
Yeah.
was like triple X gay, and then the other one was just another guy just getting pounded in his ass.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lisa, come see this. And she's like, what? She's like, I can't sit in the bathroom. I'm like, in the gay night, you go what the fuck you want.
It's a gay bar. There's a bunch of gay guys, and the people there that aren't gay are already drunk enough to not care.
But there were no straight or women in
Right.
that particular bar.
Right.
And she was just like, her jaw just dropped. She's like, oh. And I know she's never seen gay porn before.
Right. I'll admit, yes, I have been interested in seeing, but when I looked it up, it was like, man, watching this stuff just doesn't do anything for me.
That's not anything for me.
I mean, yes, granted, I forget what kind of porn I was watching, but it's like, you know what? I get there's stuff out there for everybody, and this porn that I saw just didn't do it for me.
Even on like Pornhub or XXN or anything else, I mean, you can pull up videos of chicks getting pissed on and
Yeah.
pooping and like that. And the fuck.
I mean, one of the big videos that was real popular, like being sent around person to person,
Yeah.
and I'm assuming you've probably seen this. 2 Girls, 1 Cup?
I went to go find it once. I know the concept, but I heard it's fake.
I did too, yeah. I went to go find it, couldn't find it. Didn't really look too much into it, but...
And I don't really want that in my search history and internet
Right.
trail.
Yeah. Like, I know there's ways to clear your internet history, but still.
Well, you can do it in your browser and computer, but
It's still out there somewhere.
Google's got it. Google stores everything. Right?
Yeah.
Somewhere. And especially, I think, if you go to certain websites and other things, you get, like, flagged by the NSA and some other stuff on naughty lists, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's the main reason why I haven't really tried searching stuff on the dark web.
Yeah. I mean, you can do VPNs, you can do all some shit, but I think people can always...
Even then, the VPN, chances are, even if they say they don't, chances are the VPN will still keep track of where your computer is and where you're pinging off of.
So, like, I mean, even for me, you know, I've like chicks' buttholes, they gotta be clean. Some girls love it. Usually when I'm down eating a pussy, right? But even like you watch a video when a chick's like rimming a guy,
Yeah.
I'm gonna change it.
Yeah.
You're not sticking a. Yeah, I know I've heard great stories about the prostate massage.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, when you're not licking my booty hole. But yeah, like these guys.
One thing I've never understood, and I think you mentioned that something about this too, about you don't understand it. Fisting.
No.
I don't understand it. I get there's supposed to be some sort of gland in the butt, but
I don't think there's a gland, but there's
or
way
there's
more,
something.
There's way more nerve endings in your booty than there are even in your vagina. So
Yeah.
some girls, they love it. You know what? But like the one girl, Little Miss Sunshine,
Yeah.
I told you. I don't know if I was telling him or you. Dude, she won like so many fucking awards for like, you know, AVN, Adult Video Network, whatever.
Yeah.
Actress of the Year, whatever. Double anal.
So one up the front, one up the back,
No,
or
in
is
the
it
booty.
two in the back?
Yeah. Where's the rest of it? There's all the other shit. What is this? Is her.
Yeah.
Oh,
If it's Facebook stories, they do disappear after a while.
No, there we go. This is it.
Oh, Instagram. I think Instagram does the same thing.
Yeah, she's hot. And
Yeah.
And also, like, so I was like, her name is.
Speaking of which, do you follow me on Instagram?
I'm gonna do it right now.
Just search Corum. It should pull me up.
I don't use Instagram very often.
Right.
That's probably you right there.
That. Yep.
Alright, you can follow.
That's me. Looks like
There's
you're alright.
following.
Yeah.
No, look at all your little pictures there.
Yeah. I may not have a phone, but I'm still able to. My
Yeah.
phone may have crapped out on me, but I still am able to upload stuff on my computer.
Yeah. So I'm talking to her, right? Her name is Jessica Frank.
Yeah.
She's one of my, I don't know why we end up going on hangouts. A lot of these girls, like, do you have WhatsApp and I don't like Messenger.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Which, here's the thing, I get with all those people that were on my friends list over the past year or so.
yeah.
They'd always say, "Do you have WhatsApp?" I'm like, why do I need WhatsApp? And they always go, "Well, I don't have any data." And
You heard of Wi-Fi?
A, have you heard of Wi-Fi? I've said that before. Have you heard of Wi-Fi? B, WhatsApp uses just the same amount of data as Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bunch of bullshit right there.
So, I told you how this happened, right? How I found her.
Probably.
Well, we've been talking. We're on Messenger, and now we're doing the whatever.
Yeah.
Google Talk one. But she looks so familiar.
Yeah.
And then up in the news feed, I'm like, this. The face was down. It's a nice face.
Yeah.
And then, I see this picture, and I see this Instagram, Brett Nasty 69.
Yeah.
And I pull it up, and it says, I'm like, this fucking chick.
Yeah.
And that same picture I just showed you in a little green bikini,
Yeah.
that's in here too. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is her for sure. So, but I've seen her take like giant fucking dildos. You know what a rosebud is, right?
Yeah.
Like where they actually push, like what do they call it? Prolapse, they put the butt out.
It's basically a prolapsed anus.
Yes. Where's the material? Yeah, it's pretty good shit. I've watched all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah.
Girl, like, I don't know how many she did. And like little yellow, bigger than a golf ball, smaller than a tennis ball. And I don't know how many of those fuckers she put up. Or
Yeah.
booty hole. And I'm just like, bloop, bloop. You know, I'm guessing like girls probably get what, 1,000 if you're good and maybe sign with Vivid or something, one of the good sites.
Yeah.
They're probably getting like $1,000 for a shoot.
Yeah.
It's probably double if they're doing anal.
Yeah.
You know, some of those girls, and if you're doing more extreme stuff and fisting, you might even get extra money for
Yeah.
that.
So, yeah, but if you're basic, you're hot, and you just show up, do what they want,
Yeah.
guaranteed $500 to $1,000 per shoot.
Yeah.
And then,
And the male talent gets a lot less.
yeah. I've heard stories, granted, not a lot, because I try and stay out of talking about that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But I have heard a few stories about, and at this point I don't remember, but I've heard stories about people being porn actors.
Well,
And of course, you know, the big joke about, oh, it's not a real thing, but fluffers.
mm. Oh my god, what was the story of this? It was Heidi. It was something. I don't know, maybe he was setting up the church or something
Yeah.
for the service before the church. And she's like, "You can be my fluffer." I'm like, "Heidi, don't understand me. Why? I don't even want you to look it up." That's it. It's straight.
And of course, you know,
You
there
can be
was,
my fluffer.
yeah. And of course, there was a joke about, did you used to watch that 70s show? Well, there was one joke I think would fit right up your alley
Mm-hmm.
on this. Where it's like just dirty and twisted enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, I forget who, but one of the parents of like the main characters wound up buying an auto repair place. But before before that sale wound up going through, the kids broke into it and went to all the signs that were talking about mufflers and spray painted off the last little bit so it was talking about muffs. And of course, you know, the kid the mother of the main the mother, his name's Kitty in the show, didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
And she's like, man, I've got this amazing muff and I always used to keep you in my muff. And of course she was talking about those things women would use to put their arms in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, every time you got cold when you were a baby, I'd put you in my muff and my muff still looks amazing and this, that, and the other. And
This is a fucking true story. Saw it with my own eyes. It's like the White Castle on Blaisdell and Lake.
yeah.
And I can't remember, maybe I was catching like the 18 or 21, I don't know, I think it was the 21 coming down. But you know, they have little signs up, you know, advertising specials. It seriously said...
Wait, the one on Blaisdell Lake, is that the one near the Kmart?
Yeah, we're at the Kmart.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, but you know, they have to put up, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And, it's a threesome, $3.99.
Oh, yeah. Or they're talking about like 3 burgers or something, but they'll
Yeah.
put up 3 some.
You know, and I've seen a couple. I don't, you know, one you can't always trust pictures on the internet,
Yeah.
but there is a site that you would fucking love.
Hmm.
It's called English.
Oh, I've been to that. Or it's got signs where like it's written in English, but what they put up is
The translation is so fucked.
yeah, it's either badly translated or they put something up. They speak English, they put something up in English, but it means something else.
Yeah. Like, you know, I mean, there's enough English-speaking people in Asia where you get someone to proofread this before you put it up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I've seen enough over there too. So I mean, you know, no, you won't make up that shit.
And of course, I've seen pictures where like, you know how like certain parts of certain Asian countries will have a huge part of the community where it's still Asian people, but they have an obsession with English on their tattoos and English in their shirts. And
But they're fucked up.
I saw one where like some kid, it was like I think the caption said it was like a 2nd or 3rd grader, right?
Yeah.
Had a shirt where it was in Asia, I forget what country, had a shirt that said basically live, laugh, fuck.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I've seen one that just says fuck.
And this kid wound up wearing it to school. And
I know that when I saw it in English, or saying about Asian stuff, I think a lot of that is in Japan.
yeah,
Some in China, there's a ton in Japan.
yeah, I want to say most of what I've seen was in Japan, like 99% of it. Couple in like Thailand, couple in China,
Yeah.
but yeah. But yeah, that English,
Motherfucker burger shot.
yeah.
Shot of burgers.
I would love a burger shot.
Youth sick is healthy.
What?
Youth sick is healthy.
But yeah, the website's been around for a while. I remember having that go around when I was in high school.
Toilet washing powder. The rest of it's in Japanese. Except for that it says toilet extract.
One thing, like, I get, you know, like, I get the whole reasoning behind this,
Mm-hmm.
but you know how a lot of perfumes and stuff will say, like, eau de toilette?
Mm-hmm.
You know what that translates to?
It's like water, bathroom water.
Technical, like, literal translation is toilet water.
Oh, yeah. But I know it's called
But-
perfume, yeah.
Like, I get why it's called that, because you put it in the bathroom next to your toilet. But I still think that's funny.
Are you sure this is not your business?
Fartista. Well, I think I'm going to end the video here. If you guys made it this far, which I think this video should be a longer video, but if you guys made it this far, feel free to give me a like, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell notification, and I do look forward to seeing y'all in the next video.